Southwest Florida. Welcome to Lee Pitts Live. You're probably saying, where is Lee Pitts now? You're not going to believe this. It was such a special occasion to have the opportunity to come here. I had to bring the television show on location, and looking forward to continuing to promote something that's a pillar in our community. We have an oasis in our community, and we want everybody to know about it. We've got a Christian-based school called New Life Academy located on Edgewood Boulevard in Fort Myers. They are changing lives, educating students, and giving them value along the way. Prayer is back in the church. We're so proud to have an academy like this in our community. I'm so happy to have these two founders right here in my midst. So let's get right to it. We have Bishop Eric Johnson and First Lady and Principal of the Academy, Denise Johnson. Let's start off with the Bishop. Bishop, first of all, I want to congratulate you guys. I got a chance to see the outside of the building on my way in. This is a magnificent structure, New Life Academy, that's going to be the most talked about education institution in Southwest Florida. Tell me about the early days of establishing the idea. I know we got the brick and mortar here now. Tell me about that idea when you and the missus first started talking.
Well, as our church has grown, and my wife taught in Christian school for 18 years in Sarasota, where we came from. She taught at Lee Charter. So as we were growing in our church, we just felt the need for another school, for a private Christian school. So as we researched it, and I mentioned it to my wife, but she really didn't want to run a school. She didn't want to do it. But as we kept praying, one day the Lord just put it on her heart and said, we need to start the school. But as we started, we're looking for locations, and time was running out. One of the things that happened is we couldn't find a place. You know, we wanted to do it in our current location of our church, but the code wouldn't allow it at that point, and all the money it would take to do it. So we looked and found the location that Lee Charter was previously, and so we were able to start the school. One of the things, though, was this. We didn't have any money. There was no money. So I'm like, Lord, how do we start the school and rent and do all the rest of this, and we don't have any money? We don't have any money for the teachers. There's so many things we had to do, the fire and all the infrastructure things that we need to do to get the school started. But as I prayed, the Lord said, it's not about the money. Now, that's a great statement when the Lord tells you that. But one of the things is, but Lord, I don't have any money. But that was the Lord saying to me, he's going to make a way.
Amazing.
It's about the students. It's about what I want to do in the students. It's about the work that's going to be done in the students. So the Lord told me, start it now.
Unbelievable story. I'm going to come back to you, too, and get more on the church. Let's go over here and work in First Lady. Denise, so when he principal now, about 20-something years of education in your background of teaching. Let's go back and piggyback off the hubby first. Tell me what were you thinking when he was like, yeah.
Well, definitely. When we prayed, God said it's not about the money, but it's about the children. So that's when we found the building here. We started out with 9 students. And I have one person that's still working with me today, Miss Jamaica Johnson. And I went to her. I said, tell me you're in it for the long run. And she said, yes. I said, now we may not get any money the first year paid, but will you stick with me? And she's been with me ever since. So we started with 9, and now we're up to about 100.
And that was in 2013, people. Yes. Established in 2013. They have experience here. Now, let's go to God said it's not about the money, it's about the children. Let's get specifically some things that you're doing for the children that is unique at this school.
One of the things I like the most, when I was in with public school, we did Dear Time, drop everything and read. And what we do here, our drop everything and read is our devotion. We do that every day. Every teacher uses the scriptures, and we talk about that with the students, and we let the students conversate back with us. And I think that is the most important thing, putting that foundation in them on Christianity and the Bible. And so that is number one here.
I would think that is a big appeal to the school, too, especially the way things are going now, and I get to you on that, too, Bishop. the way things are declining now with prayer being out of the church and no values, no structure like we grew up in, old school. It didn't have to be a Christian school, Rev, but we just kind of grew up in a good value system, and we went to Sunday school and all of that. That is important. Even when I'm moving around here this brief time, I notice the discipline in the children.
Definitely, because the word is going to bring them discipline. When they find themselves out of order, the word of God will redirect them and put them back on track. They'll say, oh, I need to obey, because obedience is a part of the scripture. I must obey those who have rule over me. So that word will become alive in them, and we see it every day with the kids.
Bishop, the church directly tied to this in a direct, indirect way. New Life Academy, New Life Worship Center. To have those two things directly, indirectly tied together, I'm saying that because your funders might, I don't know how that works, but you separate the two. I know you got to separate the two. They're both different nonprofits, right? And also people can donate to the school.
Absolutely. We
And
need
tax
donations.
deductible.
Absolutely.
Okay, now, to start that church over there on 41, when you pass by there, you look over there in that corner across from Edison Mall, you know something is special right there. I met a lot of members of your church. They all just seem to have a different glow about them, the way they conduct themselves, and a lot of young people too. That vision and this seem to just kind of work together. Talk about your church, how it functions, and how it ties into what you're trying to get across here at the school.
Well, the main thing is the walk with God. I mean, I'm a firm believer. The Lord changed my life 41 years ago, and his love in my heart changed me. And so the thing is, we have many youth. We know that there's really a lost generation that aren't going to church. So we make it exciting. So we have prayer, we have the word of God, but we have contemporary music, we have excitement, all right? And we know the power of God,
Spoken
the love
word,
of
too.
God. That's right.
Yeah, that's
we have,
spoken word.
We
Yeah,
have
that's
rap. They
rap,
do Christian
right.
rap.
That's
They
right.
do. We do out the box.
You embraced that early on. Early on, y'all embraced that.
Yes, we did. Matter of fact, our children, because our children are involved in the ministry, they the one brought it.
You guys were ahead of the curve, and that's where you got to be. Meet people where they are. Go ahead.
That's right. So we're exciting for the children of the youth, because we know that the youth are the future of tomorrow. They're the future leaders. And so we felt like, and we saw, and the Lord showed me, it's really a lost generation that are not going to church, not serving the Lord. And so the Lord, even though we didn't really target it, youth just started coming. And you know, they didn't have any money, they had offerings, but I was like, Lord, can you send somebody with a job? We got to pay the bills too. But the Lord showed me that I'm going to provide. I'm going to meet your needs. I'm going to work it out. And sure enough, I'm telling you, the Lord has moved mightily. And sometimes we don't know how, we don't know when, but the Lord makes a way out of no way. And we're just doing the mission and the assignment that the Lord gave to us. Reaching the youth is such a powerful thing. We've seen their lives change. Some that have been on drugs, some that in jail, some in all kinds. We've seen it all.
You see all the violence that's happening in the community,
That's right.
and it's constantly ticking up.
Yes.
You're burying people.
That's right. Yeah, unfortunately, you know, just last week, we buried a guy who was shot in the head, and I think he was 19 or 20. And it's so tragic, you know. It grips my heart, you know, when I see that. And so the fact is that it's so important. That's why we want to reach the youth. We want to help them. Our young men are being lost, and that's a particular passion I have. Is the young, particularly black men, all men, but particularly African-American men that are searching for answers and solutions to knowing their purpose and their destiny in life. Okay. And so we're reaching the youth. And from that, of course, as we're reaching youth and they're becoming their parents, we have many single parents. And so that's the birth of the school, because we saw such a great need, and the Lord was putting on our hearts. The purpose is to help the children before they have all this baggage when they get older.
Okay. Before I go back to the First Lady and Principal, I want you to, I want people out there to understand that we're not in some little, about as much as you can see now, we're in the computer lab. You see students back there engaged in the learning process. And we'll learn more about that when we talk to our fine principal here. But this is a big school. I mean, steps, upstairs, downstairs, basketball court, playground, cafeteria, all that's right here. It's like a real full-fledged school. Describe the school, square footage if you know it, just how many rooms. It's a real.
Well, right now we're leasing the building.
Okay.
I mean, the whole complex and campus is over 90,000 square feet. So we have room to expand and grow. We have, besides the school, we have extracurricular. We have a basketball team that's just awesome. It's off the chain. My son is the athletic director.
Z or the other one?
Z.
And then there's Eric Jr.
He's one of the music teachers. And so they're just doing great. The middle school, and now we're going on to high school. We have a freshman team as well in high school. So they're winning games. They're doing super. We're planning to start a football team. So hopefully we'll start that on next year. We're looking to do a football team because we know that sports when our young men is so important, and it's a character builder. I was very involved in sports, and you know yourself, and it helps build character, but also helps them to be involved and busy and develop, and who knows where they'll go from there.
There you go. Now the school itself, in saving lives, what I talked to about the pastor, getting a quality education, being in a structured environment, preaching values, all of that, values being a part of what you're doing, not afraid to pray and all these types of things, that translates into a good learning process?
Definitely. One of the things to definitely build their character. I was saying today we had chapel today, and looking at the students get up on stage, they get up on stage like it's nothing. If someone had given me a mic at that age and taught me to believe in myself, self-confidence, and knowing that you are the one, you can be that leader, and that's what we instill in them. They get on the stage like it's nothing. Get up and say what they have to say and do it very fluently. So that is very important.
Describe where we are right now. We're in a computer lab that does what?
In the computer lab, they come at least twice a week. We have what we call IXL. That's another curriculum that will help the students if they're struggling in the area. It'll give them a diagnostic test, and then wherever their weaknesses are, it will help them to build up. And then another thing we do is map testing. That's a measurement test to show where the students are. We test them beginning of the year, the middle of the year, and the end. Because we do the state test, we do Terra Nova. That's a state test that's required by the state that we turn in our assessments and the scores. So the kids they have everything they need to cause them to gain, in their understanding. If they're weak, definitely they will be strengthened in what they're doing here in the computer lab.
Just to be clear, I've noticed that you're culturally diverse. You accept all races. Is that the same thing on religion, but they just know that you're still going to have basic prayer, Christian type worship format?
Yes. Say trans-denomination, I mean all religions in one. They come in here, definitely it is the Bible. We believe in the Bible. And so we accept anyone coming in, and definitely we will follow the Bible.
So it's all denominations, but Christian.
Right.
But if someone wanted to come and wasn't Christian and they know we're Christian base,
right,
they will be welcome that.
And we're
going to serve the Lord, and we're going to serve Jesus Christ as Savior. Right. All denomination, everybody's welcome, no matter what race, no matter what their background. We have white, we have black, we have Hispanic, so everyone's welcome.
You start at 3 years old and go to the 12th grade.
That's correct.
People be surprised to know that you're not just getting them at you can that early group. Right. You get them, right off the bat. Now,
that's right.
And then you can see them progress in a normal process. And then the ones who might be behind, you help with them to get them forward. The
that's
older
correct.
ones, right?
Right.
Until you get your whole system of everybody coming through at the beginning.
Correct. That's correct.
I just happen to know this from Dylan and some other thing. But along that way, Pastor, let's distinguish that this is not a charter school. You made that clear to me before.
That's
this is
correct.
a private school.
It's a private school.
What does that mean?
It's a private Christian school. It's a private school, meaning our funding comes through McKay and Step Up Foundation, which we can be private and Christian. And so we have prayer, and we have chapel once a week. And so as a private school, that we can serve the Lord. In a public school, you're not allowed to pray. Well, we're going to pray. Because we believe that's the foundation. We believe that's missing in our schools. We believe that's missing, so we have prayer. And we've seen so many children's lives turn around between the prayer and the education methods. Not only did they turn around in their education, but they blossom in their personalities. I mean, we've just been amazed. It's like you see a flower come alive and blossom, and it's so beautiful.
Kids know, and parents know, when teachers and administrators care about them. They can. You don't have to say it. They can feel it. Right.
That's right. I mean, we have love. I mean, the key here is that our teachers and everyone we have, we are very, very on top of every teacher showing love and concern. They all know that Mrs. Johnson, they call her, is the principal. You know, we go around and we hug them and show them love. And so it's an atmosphere of love and encouragement. So we will correct them, bring discipline, but we show them love and encouragement to know that there's someone special. They are somebody, and God has a great plan and purpose for their life.
What has been the response from the parents when they know what type of school this is? I just know that there's some parents out there thirsting for this type of structure and education. What has been the response so far?
Well, I have parents now. Once they put the kids in the school, I have groups of parents. They may have like 3 or 4 kids in the family, and they would tell me, Miss Johnson, I need to keep them in here. And so that was one of the reasons why we went on to high school, because they didn't want to take them out. And then as far as like with transportation, we don't have the transportation like we need, so we try to carpool, get them here the best way we can. We have one van right now, but we do what we can do, and they are very.
That's going to change. That's going to change. Trust me.
But they are very appreciative because we make sure these kids are taken home, even if they don't have the proper uniforms. Last year was the first year we went to the uniforms at the uniform store because I wanted all the kids to look the same.
I love it.
And we paid for the uniforms. We gave every student a uniform free, so the parents could not, feel the burden of it. Of course, we had to pay for it, but we wanted them to know the importance of, looking the same, feeling the same. Nobody have to have, pants not right or feeling funny. So we took it upon ourselves to buy every student a uniform.
I love it. My son goes to a uniform school. I didn't go to a uniform school. I went to in the hood in Collegeville, Howland Project, plug it. But that uniform, just when he puts that uniform on, he takes on a whole different concept, and he doesn't know anything differently because he never went to a non-uniform school. Let me stay with you for a second. People can see over our head. Kids got on their T-shirt. This is Friday. They get to wear their T-shirt. I would assume Spirit Day and all of that. And but they during throughout the week they wear their base uniforms.
Right. Throughout the week they wear their uniforms, and then on Fridays they can wear jeans or New Life Academy shirt. And today we had National School Choice Week, so that's why they will have the yellow shawls on.
Okay, that's what that was. Okay, the students themselves. Now I know there has been at least one fight here, right? I mean, kids do get into trouble every now and then.
Well, not much.
Really?
Not much.
Okay,
no.
not one.
No. Well,
Wow.
I don't believe in that fighting here. No. No bullying. No fight.
Never been a fight. Maybe you guys.
Maybe a little fussing, but no
Right.
fight.
You
Okay.
already know that we do not, zero tolerance as far as fighting. We don't believe in the fighting. We don't believe in bullying. We believe in treating everyone the same.
Before I forget, let's make sure we hit this. I hear music playing in the hall. We're gonna hit on that. I'm gonna come to you with that, Pastor. But tutorial program, after school program, also summer camp.
We have tutorial. We are Title I school, so therefore, through the Lee County School Board, we qualify for a grant. So we have tutors on campus all day, every day, Monday through Thursday. They're here and they're pulling out the students individually and in groups of 3 to 5. And so, during the summer, we have our summer camp, and that starts June the 4th, and we're excited about that. And this year, we have something new that we're doing. It's called Summer Breaks, that we will be able to go in the community. If you want to feed students in your community, we will come and set up and do it free of charge, because now we are sponsored from the National School Lunch Program. So we will provide the lunch and breakfast. So all you have to do is call us, and we will do that.
Students who are here, they get hot lunches.
Yes, they get hot lunches and snacks. Yes,
Okay.
and breakfast.
Now, Pastor, when I'm walking through the hall, people making hear it on the microphone. They may not. It doesn't matter. I can describe it to you. When you come into the school, you hear classical music playing, like the piano. It's so relaxing. It's just a spectacular thing to walk into a school and hear that classical music traveling throughout the sound system. Tell us the logic behind that and what's been the response.
Well, it just creates a good atmosphere. We want them to hear other kinds of classical. We think that's really, really good. Creates a certain atmosphere, and it's peace, brings peace and calm when you have that kind of music in the background.
Now, I know you're a music family in general. You like the Jacksons of gospel. You got all these sons and all that, Z and all of them. That's how I first met you guys. Remember, y'all came to the TV studio. Don't think I'm just meeting Eric Johnson. Go way back. And is music a part of this whole experience? I mean, do you have a choir? Do you have like a band? Do people play instruments? Is that a part of things that you're going to morph into as well?
Yes, I mean, absolutely. We have music director. One of my sons, Eric, is the music director in music classes. Him and Zuriel do that.
That includes instruments or singing?
Singing, instruments, piano. All right. We're getting to all the other instruments. But we're developing the choir, so they sing, they perform, the children perform in the chapel. So they get a chance to exercise their gifts in singing, playing, rapping. So we do all of that to keep them involved. We think it's extremely important that the music is a great part of their life.
And we're going to tape a sermon by the pastor. On Easter Sunday, he'll be in the church, people, but you'll also be seeing him on Sunday morning on this station on Fox 4 preaching that Easter sermon. I said all that to get to this. When you guys are the toast of the Dunbar Easter Parade coming. I mean, you guys come down that street, that music is like big time. That float, the New Life, New Life Worship Center. Tell me, I saw you guys in the Easter Parade this year, and I stopped the float and I interviewing the pastor up there while he worked. Could have got my foot run over by the thing. What is that the general consensus? People feel the way I feel when y'all coming down the road?
Yes, we love to be involved. And our son, when they get ready to do this, the whole church is excited about the Easter Parade. Everybody on the floats, we're getting ready. So just to go down in the community and be involved in the community, to let them know that it's okay to praise God. It's okay. We're having fun praising Jesus. So we get excited about that.
You see, like the whole congregation, all these young people with T-shirts walking along the side. Right. I interviewed one of them. I can't remember her name, but you guys may have seen the interview. But I interviewed her on the back street, and that's when she was telling me about the charter school, the Christian school. And then when I went up to the main street, I saw you guys coming down. I recognized, hey, I had seen her earlier today, and I saw those T-shirts, and I put it all together. Then I came up to you like that. Being that you guys are, one of the things I notice about you guys is that you're in the church, but you're in the community. You're not just behind those doors. I see you moving around the community. I see you moving around. You guys put a lot of emphasis on getting amongst the people, right?
Absolutely. We think it's important. That's why we do the Easter Parade. That's why we go to the Martin Luther King Park, and we outreach. We had various ones do rap and various performances, from the young kids to the teenagers to the older ones. And so we think it's real important to reach out. It's a time that we got to reach out and show the love of God. You know, it's the greatest love, reaching out to you. And it's the love of God that we need. So we believe we need to reach out. We need to take the church from the building to the streets.
Before I get to a parent and a student, I want to cover a couple of quick key things with both of you. On your side, I want you to tell me, what are the worship hours at the church and what kind of programs you have going on at the church?
Okay, so Sunday mornings are 10:30. All right, we have a great service. We'd love for you all to come. Then we have men's meeting on Monday night. We have a women's meeting on Tuesday. We have prayer and Bible study on Wednesday nights. And then we also, something extremely important, is we have small groups, our prayer groups or connection groups on Thursdays. We have them at different homes, some at the church. And there you can get a more intimate setting, a time where you can bond with some other people your age, because we have children, teenagers, different age groups.
I see.
The women with the women, men with the men. So we have various men's groups and women's groups going on to build relationships and to help minister to you on a more personal level.
Gotcha. The school, see, you covered the school. Let's make sure we give the hours of classes. Let's make sure we give a phone number and a website and talk about the process of how you can get your child in this school. Right now, if you're sitting here looking at this and you say, hey, I'm ready. Now, if they're already in the school, they can get transferred over here. Go.
The time is perfect because, like I said, we have Step Up for Students. That's a scholarship, and that scholarship window is coming open in February. So our school hours are 7:45 to 3:30, and also you can go online. It's New Life Academy. You can go online and look up that New Life Academy, fortmyers.org, and you can sign up, and we will get back with you. So the time is perfect if you're interested in signing up your child.
Talk about the scholarships, just in general. People can apply for it, or it's automatic, or what?
The scholarship, Step Up for Students, you can go online once it's open, and you can apply for it. And that will cover most of our school, not all of it. But we will look at your application, and we will talk to you about that. So it's Step Up Students. And if you have a special child with some type of disability, we accept McKay. McKay Foundations for those students. Maybe they have a slow learner or something like that, and some type of disability. That's my specialty. We do accept students that has that.
Give their phone number.
239-645-8122.
And they can get a human being on the phone?
Most times. Most times, if we're not busy in the classroom.
Now, Bishop, do you you're a bishop of the church. Your role here at the school is what?
Well, basically, she really does everything.
Right.
But basically, some of the business decisions, policy, so forth, direction, hiring, so forth, and that, the overall vision, I'll get involved with. But in terms of daily operations and everything else, my wife takes care of that.
Okay.
I will come and do some chapels,
Right,
get involved, show the children love. But usually I'm not on site, and we'll just make sure we take care of the vision of the church.
Tell people where we are located, the street, where we are in the city of Fort Myers.
Okay, we're off of Tarpon on Edgewood. Give the exact address.
3348 Edgewood Avenue.
All right.
And we welcome people to come and tour.
Definitely, anytime. We have an open door policy. You can just come upstairs, come to the school, sign in, of course, and we will show you.
We have a parent and a student waiting in the wings. We're going to go to a break, and we come in, we'll talk to the parent and the student. Tell us a bit about them.
Well, I can tell you about the student, Tajaria. She's our senior this year, and we have 2 seniors just graduated.
She looks like a 6th grader.
Oh, she's a senior.
Senior.
Yes.
Go out into that college.
And she came to us about 3 years ago. Her mama decided to put her here, basically told her she was going to come. She was not a happy student at the beginning.
Can't wait to hear her
And
story.
when I would see Tajaria, I would just say, Tajaria, it's going to be okay. She would not smile or anything, but after a while, she got used to it, and now she loves the school. And she excels in everything she does.
We have a parent.
And parent here is Toya. She has a son here who is Patrick. And matter of fact, today he did his speech on why he loves the school. So Patrick is his first year here, but he's wonderful. And she's always here. She comes to our chapel. She's very instrumental in helping out in school.
That's great. The fact that you have students like her who has come in, parent wanted her here for various reasons, and she's changed substantially as a result of that. How does that make you feel, Pastor?
Oh, that's so wonderful. I mean, it's what it's all about. This is why we're here, to see the children's lives change. It impacts the parents. And so to see their life go and come one way, and as they blossom, is so exciting. It's our passion. It's our desire to see them grow up. One of the things that's so important, that you really have to establish a foundation in children when they're young, not only for the Lord, but in their education. It determines their whole future, their whole destiny, their whole purpose. And so this time is so critical in their lives, and we take it very seriously.
I think you alluded to it. I'm not quite sure. You mentioned that you have a summer program.
Yes.
So essentially, academics is going on here in the summer as well.
Yes. We have a summer school program also. So you can call us at the same number, and we have summer camp. If our students are not up to par at the end of the year, it is required for them to go to summer school.
What are some activities that you have in general during the year that are outside of the classroom just to keep the children camaraderie together? You have picnics, you have cookouts, you have anything on the big campus, anything like that here on the campus?
Well, one of the things, different holidays, MLK, Black History Month, various things through the years. We have exciting things in the school.
Right.
All right. And then outside of the school, now we have students that are not members of the church, but we do things with the youth,
Gotcha.
at the church, and the ones are welcome to come who aren't members of the church. So we include them if they want to be a part of that. So we do have activities like the Fall Festival, various things throughout the whole year.
Now, I've been around for a minute, and I've covered a lot. Now, to my knowledge, and you can speak to this, or both of you can speak to this, we know that the majority of the kids here are African Americans or Hispanics, right? Mm-hmm. This is a Christian-based school. Great curriculum, great learning process. I don't know in the area, is there anything else like this in Fort Myers of this magnitude?
No, not at this time. There was at some point in times in the past.
So we're lucky to have this.
Yeah. So we're excited. It's a need. It's a gap in our community. So many times in the public school, there's some really great teachers and doing a great job. But the thing about it is, generally, our kids fall through the cracks. They don't generally get all the attention they need or the love they need. They certainly don't get the prayer and the spiritual aspect. So we're hitting a need, like you said, going back a little more old school the way it was, building a community, building youth, and in a more personal way.
I'm glad you brought the mic to me on this one. I taught at Lee Charter with Dr. Chapman. She's an excellent. She was an excellent principal. And I taught there for 5 years. After the first year they opened, I was there for 5 straight years until I had to have major surgery. That's why I stopped. But when they made the accusation, said that they had cheated, I knew that was a lie because I taught at that school. And I traveled with Dr. Chapman around because I was on her A+ team to bring those students up. But they never told the true story about when we had to send everything to the state to prove that we had not cheated, and they cleared the board saying that we did not cheat. So I just want to clear that.
And the truth doesn't get out.
And the truth doesn't get out.
Lies get out fast.
Yes, but the truth to be told, we taught those students, and definitely we taught them with everything we had, and Dr. Chapman's an excellent principal. So I just wanted to say that.
And I used to go to that school and interview people, and Dr. Chapman is a big fan of mine. And I can say this, waging war on ignorance. I would have them from army fatigues, right? It'd be business in there. And those antonyms and those synonyms, and you incorporated songs, and those children knew that. Is that still a part of this education as well?
Yes. Matter of fact, we use some of the same songs because Dr. Chapman, she was a role model, mentor for me. When I first came to this city, that was my first job at that school. And she taught me a lot of things as an educator professionally because I traveled with her. So bringing the school here now where she used to be at, and I used to walk these halls and teach ESC. So now having a school here, and we've been a predominantly black school, I feel good about educating these students. Now the difference between my school and theirs is this. We do accelerated Christian education, which is Christian education, and it's individually as those children learn, they progress. And we do Common Core. We have a mixture. So therefore the kids, every gap they got will be filled.
What's Common Core?
Common Core is the standard that they use for the state of Florida.
Okay.